Marshawn Kneeland's journey was one of strength, passion, and promise, the kind of story that reminds you why sports can be so deeply human. Born on July 8, 2001, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, he grew up surrounded by hard work, love, and resilience. From the time he was a boy, Marshawn possessed a special drive, the kind that made him stand out not just because of his athletic ability, but because of his heart. He wasn't the loudest in the room, but he always led with his actions. Whether it was helping teammates, mentoring younger kids, or simply putting in extra hours after practice, Marshawn embodied the values that define true greatness: effort, humility, and consistency. At Godwin Heights High School, he emerged as one of Michigan's most exciting young football talents. Coaches and scouts marveled at his explosive first step and natural instincts on defense. But more than that, they noticed his focus. He treated every game like an opportunity to prove himself, every practice like a test of character. He wasn't satisfied with being good. He wanted to be great. And that hunger, that fire, carried him all the way to Western Michigan University, where his name would soon become synonymous with dominance on the defensive line. Between 2019 and 2023, Marshawn Kneeland became a cornerstone of the Western Michigan Broncos defense. A relentless pass rusher with rare athleticism, he combined power and precision in a way few players could. Over his college career, he recorded 148 tackles, 13.5 sacks, and 27.5 tackles for loss, leaving a legacy of disruption and leadership. But what his teammates remember most isn't just the stats. It's the way he carried himself. He was the kind of player who celebrated others' success, who lifted spirits during tough moments, and who always gave credit to his team before himself. That kind of attitude caught the attention of NFL scouts. When the Dallas Cowboys selected Marshawn in the second round of the 2024 NFL Draft, 56th overall, it was a moment that validated years of work, sacrifice, and belief. For Marshawn, it was never about fame or fortune. It was about family, legacy, and love for the game. He spoke often about his mother, who had passed away before his NFL dream came true, and he wore a necklace containing her ashes as a symbol of her presence. Every time he stepped on the field, he carried her memory with him. It was that connection, that deep emotional fuel, that gave him strength even in the toughest moments. When he arrived in Dallas, Marshawn quickly became known for his humility and work ethic. He was the rookie who never complained, the young man who showed up early and stayed late. Coaches praised his attention to detail, his quiet leadership, and his desire to learn. By 2025, he had started making an impact on the field, recording his first NFL touchdown on a blocked punt recovery, celebrating with pure joy as his teammates mobbed him in the end zone. For fans, that moment was symbolic, a young man finally living his dream, giving everything he had for the team and the sport he loved. But behind that determination and success, Marshawn was human, and like many athletes, he faced his own private struggles. Fame and expectation often bring immense pressure, and even the strongest hearts can feel that weight. On November 6, 2025, tragedy struck the sports world when news broke that Marshawn Kneeland had died at just 24 years old. The Texas Department of Public Safety later reported that his death was being investigated as an apparent suicide following a series of events involving a vehicle pursuit near Frisco, Texas. Authorities said Marshawn had expressed suicidal thoughts before he was found, and though the final coroner's report is pending, all signs point to a devastating loss of a young man in deep pain. The news sent shockwaves through the NFL and beyond. Teammates, coaches, and fans were heartbroken, not just because of the loss of a talented athlete, but because of the man behind the helmet. The Cowboys released a statement describing him as a beloved teammate and a person whose light brightened every room he entered. Across social media, players from around the league shared messages of love and remembrance, recalling his smile, his selflessness, and his relentless positivity. For those who knew him, the pain was indescribable, because Marshawn wasn't just a player, he was family. His former college coach at Western Michigan called him the ultimate teammate, tough, coachable, and kind. Reporters who covered him described him as humble and grounded, always taking time to greet fans and thank staff after games. Even when he reached the NFL, he never forgot where he came from. He often returned to Michigan during the off-season, visiting local schools and speaking with young athletes about discipline, education, and chasing dreams. For Marshawn, success was about more than statistics. It was about impact. And that impact didn't disappear with his passing. In fact, it grew. Across the sports world, Marshawn's story reignited critical conversations about mental health, especially among athletes. His death became a sobering reminder that strength isn't just physical, it's emotional, too. Too often, the same young men we see as heroes carry silent battles that the world never sees. Marshawn's story urges us to look closer, to listen more, and to offer help before it's too late. Because behind every jersey, behind every touchdown and tackle, is a person who needs care and understanding. In life, Marshawn Kneeland was a warrior, disciplined, loyal, and full of hope. In death, he leaves behind a legacy that stretches far beyond football. His story teaches us that kindness and empathy matter just as much as power and performance. It reminds us to check in on our friends, our teammates, our loved ones, to ask how they're really doing, not just how they appear to be. Marshawn's heart was enormous, and even though it stopped too soon, its impact continues to beat in the lives he touched. As we remember Marshawn Kneeland, we celebrate everything he stood for: perseverance, humility, and heart. We honor the laughter he brought to locker rooms, the inspiration he gave to his teammates, and the strength he showed through adversity. Though he may be gone, his story will inspire generations to come, young athletes who dream big, fight hard, and never give up. Rest in peace, Marshawn Kneeland, a player, a leader, a son, and a soul gone too soon. Your light will forever shine in the hearts of those who loved you. If you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of self-harm or suicide, please reach out for help. In the U.S., you can call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, for free and confidential support. No one fights alone.